Do we just go ahead and ask? Okay, do you need Did the town burn down? Did the town burn down? How many people were in your class?
About 54 to 5.
What was the transportation like?
I live right across the road from the school. Well, I went
What is your name?
in a bucket. Yes, just like it was several years ago.
How long did you live in Greenwood?
15, 16.
How far was it to walk?
Right across the road.
Okay. How far was it for you to go to
About 600 miles.
Okay. How long were your school days?
Oh, not this time. 9 in the morning till noon and 1 to 4.
How long were your school days?
9 to 4.
Okay.
We went home for lunch too. We went home for lunch.
Has Greenwood changed through the years? Why did Greenwood School become part of Why did Greenwood School become part of
When it was consolidated. It was consolidated, but this small town.
Did you have any favorites though?
I had 46. Oh, gosh. That's 3 years ago. There's that man that I like, that Western. He wasn't even good looking. The girls were always crazy about him. We didn't have to.
Did you have any favorite stars?
Yes, but they weren't movie stars, just baseball.
Oh, who were they?
George Brett. We had a his father
Who?
anyway, George Brett was still in there. She's the best one there ever was. School bus.
What types of punishment did you have?
Oh,
What did you eat for lunch?
I brought my own lunch because when I worked here, because I didn't have any food I liked.
What did you eat and what you brought from home?
Oh, peanut butter sandwich and cookies. Bean sandwich. Yeah, baked bean sandwich.
What did you eat?
Whatever they had at the school lunch.
Were you here when Greenwood became part of West? Was it any different, just like
It's a long story. It's some people are still the school strike is a long story. There were some personal
There was a little grocery store.
animosities and
Post
some
office.
people are still alive
outside?
And
raised in it, and it really almost not talked about the
Go here and get this story to be at.
Because I can't.
I went to
another
the
time.
drugstore,
It was after World War
Should
II.
I stop it?
a liquor store,
Children were restless.
and a drugstore.
Nice spring
Could
day.
you tell us some
Nice to be
details about
outside.
these stores?
The strike received
They were very
a lot of
small.
publicity in Kansas City area, on front page of Kansas City.
No.
People went out of town
Time I
to
was in
do
high
their
school,
shopping.
grammar school.
Okay, what do you remember? What was the business like?
But they're very conventional.
Yeah.
Well, we had a cash store and a grocery store, very nice. And if we were sick, they would deliver what we needed. That's about it. So, but we did have, we were living at Greenwood store. Nice gym. And
Okay. What were your libraries like?
Administrator of the school.
Well, I helped start the library here in this school. They didn't have one before. I worked here.
About how many books did you put in it when you first got books that came from Greenwood?
Oh, just
Kind of got popular. Like,
never counted them. We just started, so I don't know how many we had.
what were the libraries like?
Well, I went to the Carnegie Library here in Kansas. I never had anything to do with libraries.
How big was the library?
It was large in several rooms.
When I went to school, when I was a kid, when I went to school, we had to go to
What kind of food did you have?
a building separate that belonged to the town, and to get books from the library. We didn't have any library in our school.
Did you spend your time mostly inside or outside?
Well, we had a recess in the morning and the afternoon, except in high school. Then we didn't have any recess.
Okay. What about you? What was your time spent, outside or inside?
Well, I went
Maybe. I need to list this leg.
What were the types of games that you played?
baseball, wood tag, and such as
Okay. What were your toys like?
Or what?
Your toys.
At school?
What were your favorite subjects? At school or at home?
Didn't have any toys at school. Oh, in the first grade, we had a sand table. And we would go around there, and they'd have a lot of things set on that table. When we got back to our seats, we had to tell as many of the things that we could remember that was on there. That was kind of hard to do. Couldn't remember all of them.
What were your toys like?
well, mostly men in high school. We had baseball, that,
Down in the gym
and then
last day of
slate.
school, we were having,
At our school, we had a merry-go-round on the playground. And you'd get on it, turn, somebody would push it around, and it wouldn't go by itself. You had to push it.
Had everybody got out, or were there some people still?
Mrs. Gann was a pen pal to some of the classes. You might want to ask her about that. She wrote letters back and forth to the classes. Oh, yes, we were PTA life. And she was also, let's see, yeah, you got a pin. There's her pin. And she's an honorary lifetime member of the PTA. That's an honor. But you might ask her about being pen pal with the classes. Okay?
Did you have a lot of fun being pen pals with the classes?
I certainly did. I enjoyed it very much. I was in Hill for the second grade.
Were your
No,
bathrooms
Miss
inside or
Westrum, I
outside?
got what grade. And the children were so sweet, and I would every month at the holidays, I gave them all they get. Then they wrote me letters saying thank you. And I have their pictures, all of their pictures, and I'll never forget. Then later I got under the 6th grade, and they showed me all of their studies, a little bit in each study. And that was about the time well, anyway, they showed me all the studies, even music, and it was real interesting. I enjoyed it.
And like, I forgot to ask you, what seniors
Mary Gann.
ninth and 8th grade, okay? Ninth and 10th graders, and tell them what they did you have a lot of dolls? And if you did, what were they like?
A lot of dolls when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I had a great
Did
big
you
rag
collect
doll.
anything?
It was kind of flat and the stuff. That was my pet because I felt sorry for it because it was a rag doll. Then I had a little Cupid doll, and I had a doll that had a pin cushion around it, and I had two or three other dolls.
What kind of books did you read?
Personally, or
Yeah.
older stories.
Specific, yeah. What was it like to be an all-life member of the PTA?
Very honorable. I thought that it was the best honor I could receive from the school. And I still feel that way.
How did you get to be this kind of member?
Well, I told you about my well, I also showed my doll to
Greenwood,
second grade every year for a number of years. Can't remember
Did
how
you have
many.
any
And then when I moved to the summer,
that
I was too old, so I quit. But I made all of these dolls. They were rough dolls. I made them all, and I started with Martha, George Washington, and the Pilgrims, and went on down through the United States, all of those special people. And later, I made all of those for centennial years. Then I wondered what was I going to do with all those guys. So
have those people
I took
changed
Bible
over the
and American history and
We've
looked at
over the years.
I mean, like a whole bunch. Do you still recognize them?
and I gave them to
Sometimes it's a
organizations
little hard.
that wanted to recognize and no charge.
Did you make a lot of dolls?
No, I didn't make very many.
What were the basketball games like?
I never got to go to basketball games.
What were the basketball games like?
Well, they were different than they are now. I played basketball. And we played other schools. And then we watched all now. We watched all the games on TV. Now watch this last one where they were so good last Saturday night. And I enjoyed it very much. But I was sorry to say
What do any of the teachers teach in the school now that taught when you taught here as you did when you
Yeah,
worked
you've
here?
got several teachers here that were here when I worked here. See, I didn't go to school here. I was a secretary here for 17 years. And there's still several teachers working here that was here at that time. But when I got old enough to retire, I had to quit. And
Well, when I first started teaching, it was in
but they teachers are still, some of them are young enough to work here.
Do you know Mrs. Leader, the fourth grade teacher at the trailer? Mrs. Leader?
No,
You know Mrs. Leader? Mrs. Leader?
it's been quite a while since I worked here. See, when I got old enough that you had to retire, why, I had to quit. So I went home and played around for 2 years, and then I got another job and worked for 7 years.
Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood? About maybe something that you remember particularly about it? Did you ever go to any of Elvis's concerts?
Well, I know that when I went to school, my front door of our house faced the front door of the school. And my mother would stand there at the front door and watch us when we came out, and we couldn't sneak away to go anywhere. We had to come right home and go to work, iron, or do dishes, or rake the yard, study. We didn't get to go playing at somebody else's house like a lot of kids do now.
Is there anything that you remember about your childhood that you'd like to tell us?
Well, I had two brothers and a sister, and we all sang, and each one of us played a different instrument, and we had lots of fun.
Did you ever leave this country and go to the other what country? Instruments did you and your sisters and brothers play?
I played the organ, we had the organ, and my oldest brother played the violin, and my youngest brother played the guitar, and my sister picked the
Did you play any musical instruments?
I had to play a piano. I took lessons for 2 years, and then my mother thought I wasn't learning very much, so she quit. But I did learn enough so that I played at church for several years, organ and piano.
Where's the Korean? She was the first secretary.
Yeah, I was the first secretary they had here. I was the first secretary that they hired here at this school, and I was here for 17 years. And then when I had to retire, while Mrs. McInnes came here to work.
What does it feel like to be the first secretary at a school here at Greenwood?
Well, you didn't know much. You had to learn how to be a school secretary because they hadn't had one here before.
We're down to the wire. We're just kind of waiting. I don't know what else anybody wants to talk about.
Do you have many pets? And if you did, what were they?
Many pets. Oh yes, when we lived on the farm, and we had cats and dogs, chickens, and some horses and cows.
Did you have any pets?
Oh yes, we always had a cat or two when I was a kid. And then when I lived on a farm for a few years, and I had 2 or 3 cats. One time I had 24. I had to get rid of some of them.
Did you ever take a bird out of its nest? A baby bird?
No, sir. My mother wouldn't let me do that.
Did you ever?
No, but I put them back
How
in
many
and
kids
keep cats from getting. I also had canaries in my, as one of my pets, and raised them. They were singers, and a cat got questions on it. Caught them at canary. Pulled it out of the cage.
Do you have any grandchildren?
Oh, I didn't like that very much. My sister almost killed the cat.
Do you have any pets? How many grandchildren do you have, if you have any?
How many what?
Grandchildren.
I didn't have any children, so I don't have any grandchildren.
Did you have any pets when you were in grade
I
school?
had one son. He had 3 children. That's my grandchildren. And now I have 7 great-grandchildren. And I'll be 90 years old in June.
What kind of hobbies or sports did you like? Like, did you have roller skating or anything like that?
No, I never had a chance. My older sister wouldn't let me have the roller skates to try out. And so I had to make quilts and do crocheting and
One thing I
knitting.
really remember about this school is the sanitarium.
What kind of sports and
Down there in
hobbies
that
did you
basement,
have
you
that
know,
you had?
and how they served all this, but the food was good.
They're there. We have the
Mrs. Morris.
There's a picture of basketball. And
You taught him? I taught him. What particular thing do you remember about Greenwood?
Ray Young and Herbert White. Dwight Miller was the president.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty nice little town.
Mrs. Ray Davis
I like
and
to live
Sam
here.
Campbell.
What do you like particularly about the school?
I think they have pretty good school, good teachers.
Did you go to the school?
I think well, it's got a good rating to it.
What do you like particularly about Greenwood? Where do you live?
Well, it's just a beautiful place to live. And the school, especially nice. It belongs to consolidated district number 7, and it is rated one of the best in the state.
The balls keep getting hit in your yard. But we just pick them up and throw them back.
What kind of things do you remember about working here? Like, what things did you do?
I used to type, answer the telephone, make things for the teachers to use to teach with.
Somebody in my family is
And take care of them if they were sick before they'd go home. I even had one child that had a broken arm, and I had to put a splint on it and get him to the doctor.
These are my great
What did you do? Did you like grow up in school district and go to school, or did you just work? Somebody in my family. Did you have to pay for clothing?
And I love
If you had any other jobs besides as a teacher, could you tell me about what kind of things that you have, like any antiques or something that you can tell us?
Oh, I have some antique dishes, and I have a rocking chair that's an antique that my mother started housekeeping with. And let me see what else do I have. I have some awful nice antique dishes. And some good silverware that belonged to my grandmother.
What kind of antiques do you have?
Everything's ready to go.
it was money to my when I moved to the summer because I lived in a house and I didn't have room for many. Something to my great-grandmother. And then I have several pieces of old furniture. I kept those, and one is an old bureau, and my sister-in-law bought it across the ocean. Her ancestors brought it across the ocean. She kept it as long as she had it for. She gave it to me, so I still have it. And then my husband's grandfather made furniture, and he made 4 chairs and rocking chairs, and he gave them to his son, and it was handed down to me. I gave them to my son.
Did you have any students that ever
Oh, I have a couple of pictures that my father painted when he was a young man, and one that one of my uncles painted when he was young.
Did you ever win with your experiment?
And I guess that's all the pictures I have.
Did you have a spelling bee and geography bee when you were little?
Spelling bees? Oh yes, and I like those spelling bees.
Did you ever win?
Well, I did pretty good.
Did you have any spelling bees?
Well, I won at the fact school when I was young. Went up the county, but I couldn't stay. I just didn't get to go to state.
Here, you want to take a break?
Oh, did the kids go on strike we've had stories about that. The kids or the workers go on strike at the
And we
school.
didn't do things like that in my day. We didn't tell them what to do. Teachers told us what to do.
Did you hear anything about kids or teachers going on strike? Libraries
Well,
bigger or
first
smaller?
we didn't go to school. That's what I
We were pretty good kids.
Pretty good kid. Okay.
Dim roof collapsed. Were you there when it happened?
I wasn't here then.
Could you tell us about how it happened?
No, I didn't know. I just heard that it did happen.
When were you born? Did you have?
Where was I born?
When were you born?
1970.
Where is your birthplace?
Seneca, Kansas.
When were you born?
I was born June 17th, 1901, near Greenwood, Illinois.
Is that where you were born? Okay.
That is my mother named me after her. And let's see, what was the name of that book? Sir Halifax.
What was your favorite author?
Well, they go about the old songs. I can't think of its name.
It was too many years back, wasn't it?
Well, after H. Porter, that was one of the books. More smaller. I read a lot. I don't know which
I
one.
had a whole set of Campfire Girl books.
Oh, I read.
Campfire Girl books. I had a whole set of them.
You were in Campfire?
Well,
Were you in Campfire or Girl Scout?
Campfire Girl.